Welcome to the 2018 SCAC Spring Media Days. I'm Rachel Gibbon with Trinity University's men's golf head coach Sean Etheredge and senior Redmond Lyons. Thanks for joining me today, guys.
No worries.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, looking at the roster, the Tigers are very young with 3 freshmen and 3 returning sophomores. How will this affect team dynamics for this year and the years to come?
Well, I think the most important thing is that what I'm looking forward to is we have 2 very strong seniors on our roster that I think are going to help us and myself in developing the upcoming sophomores and especially the freshmen. Obviously, Redmond Lyons, our captain, a few years now, is a very, very strong leader and competitor, and I'm really relying on him to help in the development of the freshmen. On the bright side of the freshmen has been Dawson Dally, who won a tournament as a first year at the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor Intercollegiate earlier in the fall. So we look good things for Dawson, and of course the rest of his crew, Bryce Pigeon, and Amelia Ortiz.
And Redmond, after the season ended last year, you had the opportunity to compete at the U.S. Amateur after qualifying in Dallas. That's super cool. Talk about that experience and what you learned from that you'll bring into this year.
I mean, it's such a different event to what we normally do. The field is so much bigger, and it's just an incredible field of players. So I think it's an awesome opportunity to really understand what it takes to be that much better. And I think it's unique that not every team in our division or in our conference gets to have competitors go. So I think that's definitely an advantage for us to have an idea of not just for our division and our conference, but what it takes to be that good on that higher level, I guess. So I think that's the biggest thing I took away from it. You get to see the pros of the next coming years, and compete against them. So I think that's definitely the biggest thing that I took away from that. So.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the conference, the Tigers have been really close to winning the SCAC Championship last year and the past few years. What will the Tigers need to do this year to get over the hump and maybe get the win?
Want to field that one?
Just win. I don't really know. I mean, keep balls in play.
Yeah, but we've had quite the streak going. 4 years in a row, been the runner-up, and in a few of those circumstances within a shot or 2. So we are very excited about getting another chance at this and getting over the hump, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, this is my last year, so it's kind of do or die on that one. But I think there's definitely something to be said for maybe winning early and winning often. If we can kind of get into a rhythm before we get there, and put guys in a more comfortable position. Like you said, we're pretty young, so to get some of those guys more comfortable early would be huge.
And speaking of the SCAC Championship, that you guys are at a new course this year. How will you guys prepare for this new course?
Go more than 10 days early, right? That's the I think we're gonna try and use our spring break wisely, seeing as Houston's not that far away. But yeah, it's gonna be different. It takes some of the comfort out of going back to Valor, at least as a senior. But if we prepare better than everyone else, that changes that up a little bit. So
yeah, I think it'll be a unique test for sure. From what we hear, the golf course is much different than Valor, which should probably lend itself to our strengths a little bit more. It's a little longer, it's a little tighter off the tees. Some of the holes a little bit more demanding. We've got a few of the guys from the area that are from like the Woodlands and Katy and Houston area. So hopefully they've had a few rounds in there in high school, but most of us are going in pretty blind. So we'll try and do our homework and be prepared.
And Redmond, what have you been working on this off season to prepare for this upcoming season?
Well, my off season's been a little longer than everyone else's, but yeah, I really think it goes back to the USAM thing. I got the opportunity to go to the USAM obviously in August of last year, so that was an eye opener. For me, I thought I was long until I went there, so that's definitely been part of it. And then actually having a short game would be nice, so that's been the second part. And between that and I had an opportunity to go to Q school too, so it's been a lot of competing, and then just tightening in those other parts that I feel like are the next stages of getting better. So.
And speaking of this year, Coach, a lot of success happened in the fall for the Tigers. You guys won the Mary Hardin-Baylor Invite and got 3rd at the Tough Alamo City Classic. What did you see from your teams in the fall that you're excited about to bring into the spring season?
Well, first off, I saw some really good play from our freshmen. They all played well, especially Dawson was a standout, but they're all developing nicely. I think there's always a big hurdle coming from high school golf, getting yourself adjusted to college tournaments, and just a little bit of the travel, but most certainly the biggest difference would be the preparation and kind of, I guess, the expectations of how important you are on a team of 1 of 8 as opposed to 1 of maybe 16 or 20. So very enthusiastic about their development. Happy to see everyone playing well. I think we're going to get started here on the right foot, and I'm really excited about Shriner as started off our spring season, and then the West Cup. And I think we'll have a really good idea how we're gonna finish up by those 2 tournaments. I think that's a good start for us.
Sure. And Redmond, as a senior, what's one goal you hope to accomplish in your last year at Trinity?
Comanche Trace has always been kind of my golf course, I guess. I think I've a 2nd, 3rd, and a 4th, or 2nd, 3rd, and a 5th or something, so I'd rather get a 1st there than maybe a 3rd or a 4th to finish out that 4th. So Comanche's definitely my big starting point. And, Comanche as an individual for sure would be great, and then conference as a team. Those are just 2 things that I really want to get done, and if we go to nationals because of those 2, then that'd be awesome. So,
for sure. And Coach, last question. You kind of already touched base on it, but what's one goal you hope your teams accomplish this season?
Ooh, just one. I would really like to bring back a victory from the West Cup. That's a tournament that for me, I think I have tons of respect for. It's always the strongest field I think that we play in all year long. Usually has the individual NCAA champ and the team champ in it. Just a great field. And last year we played great golf to have the overnight lead after the 1st and 2nd rounds. And we're very close to sealing that deal. And I think other than, of course, the conference championship, I think that a win at the West Cup would be an excellent way to get things going. And then conference is just, to be so close for the last 4 years, I feel like we're all dying to just get over this hurdle.
Well, those are all the questions I had for you guys. Thanks for joining me, and good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.